So Caitlin Clark is, let's be completely real, like when people are talking about these CBA negotiations and everyone's saying the most important players are the people that are on the committee, let's be completely real. The most important player in CBA negotiations is Caitlin Clark. The second most important player in CBA negotiations is not necessarily Caitlin Clark, or say obviously not Caitlin Clark, it's Angel Reese. The third most important player, Sabrina Ionescu. The fourth most important player, AJ Wilson. Fifth most important player, Paige Beckers. And maybe if you want to put Paige Beckers at third, fair enough. They are the most important.
She did more than imply it. Caitlin Clark, the undisputed most influential figure in the WNBA CBA talks, just spoke about the 2026 season not as a question, but as a certainty. Her calm confidence, backed up by another major star, delivers a clear signal. The WNBA is not disappearing. This is not blind optimism from a superstar. It is a calculated stance of firm declaration and a direct answer to growing strike rumors. The ripple effects are massive for players, fans, and the direction of women's basketball. The league's top voices are now steering its future, and their statements carry more impact than any closed-door vote. That confidence spreads quickly.
Imagine your legacy being destroying the sport that you made a career on. Like if the WNBPA, like if the PA calls a strike and people are like, oh, 97% of the players like voted voted for a strike. No, they didn't. 97% of the players basically said they trust the CBA. They trust the CBA. Or say not trust CBA, they trust the PA. That if that they're okay to strike if.
She was not alone. Angel Reese, a dominant presence in her own right, and arguably the second most critical figure in these negotiations, also spoke openly about her long-term ambitions, specifically playoff success in the coming seasons. This detail matters. When the two most powerful players in the league, the same players who drive television contracts and sponsorship revenue, talk about the future as if it is locked in, it sends a strong signal. They are pushing back against panic, calming fans, and delivering a clear message to decision makers that the league will continue. This unified tone is intentional.
Like voted for a strike. No, they didn't. 97% of the players basically said they trust the CBA. They trust the CBA. Or say not trust CBA, they trust the PA. That if that they're okay to strike if nothing happens. That they're okay with the strike as a last resort. And if nothing else, that vote is just in solidarity. Like, the reality is that even if it was 60%, it would make absolutely no difference. But the players also know that if half the league, if it ended up being 60% voting, that the league would just, The
importance of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's comments cannot be overstated. In the pressure-filled environment of CBA negotiations, every statement from top players is analyzed. When these athletes, instead of committee officials, confidently reference future seasons as guaranteed, it reshapes the entire storyline. Their relaxed certainty is a deliberate tactic meant to reduce fear and project stability. This goes beyond words. It is a strategic effort to protect momentum and prevent speculation from slowing the league's growth. They know the influence they hold, and they are using it to protect the WNBA.
Aren't necessarily like taking into account how important it is. The likes of the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese talking as if it's a guarantee, how important that is. Because at the end of the day, these are players that Nike, Reebok, these big brands are kind of like. Nike are putting a lot of stock in Caitlin Clark. Like, there's a lot going into Caitlin Clark. I think this Team USA camp, and imagine if Team USA fuck about and don't pick Caitlin Clark. Nike on the spot would probably just drop them. The rumor is, again, this is...
While official CBA committee members play a vital role, the real leverage often belongs to the league's biggest attractions. Caitlin Clark is more than just a player. She is a cultural force and a standalone brand. Her involvement, even indirectly through public comments, carries more influence than endless behind-the-scenes discussions. Her voice reaches fans, sponsors, and investors instantly. Alongside Rhee, she is confirming the league's future from the court rather than the boardroom. This represents a shift in how power operates in professional sports.
Complete online rumor I'm seeing on Twitter. This doesn't mean anything, but the rumor is that the Caitlin Clark shoe is going to be revealed during a Super Bowl commercial. That is what the rumor is. That it's going to be revealed during the Super Bowl, which is what, like, I'm just trying to think when it comes down to it. When is the Super Bowl? It's start of February. It's always going to be the start of February anyway. It was the 10th of February last year, I think. It was 10th of February. Either way, though, look, at the end of the day,
There is widespread misunderstanding around the recent strike authorization vote. Many assumed a 97% approval meant players were ready to walk away and threaten the 2026 season. The truth is more complex. That vote represented unity and trust in the Players Association. It shows readiness to strike only if negotiations fail completely, not a desire to shut down the season. It is a negotiation tool, not a declaration of war. A display of strength and solidarity, not an attempt to dismantle the league players helped build.
In March, they are all going to be a lead-in to what is going to be the biggest WNBA season ever, because the assumption is that the season is going to happen. The Caitlin Clark is going to be healthy. The Paige Becker is going to be even better. The Age is going to continue her dominance. The Fee is going to be healthy coming into the season. That Angel Reese is going to have the most competent team around her that she's had in her career. And by the way, so many people were like, oh, and rival play means nothing. I was like, oh yeah, winning and losing means nothing. But I'm like, stats mean nothing. But I'm like,
that unity is critical. The possibility of a strike, even if unlikely, is the only leverage players have to push for improved pay and conditions. Without that vote, the Players Association would lack real bargaining power. Players understand this clearly. They know that achieving a projected 6,700% increase requires absolute alignment. This is not about ending the WNBA. It is about strengthening it and making sure players receive a fair share of its expanding success.
It's really important because it's transferable. People are like, oh, but like Angel Reese killed it in Arrival. I'm like, outside the first 4 games of the season, Angel Reese played like an all WNBA team player. Like, do people not realize that? Angel Reese was unbelievable last season. There was a chunk in the middle of the season where she was averaging something like 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists at the Chicago Sky. It was a 10-game spell, and the Chicago Sky were 5-5. And I understand it's a small sample size, but like, still, like it's one of those things where genuinely, Angel was very, very good last year. But yeah, it is.
Beyond player power, an even larger force stands behind the scenes. Nike. As a major stakeholder in the WNBA, their influence is enormous. Nike has invested heavily in Caitlin Clark, and any canceled season or weakened league directly affects their business. The company's commitment to its star athletes acts as a stabilizing force, making compromise almost inevitable. Nike is not just a sponsor. It is a partner deeply invested in the league's long-term growth and visibility, using its influence to protect that future. The scale of Nike's commitment becomes even clearer through a rumored but explosive detail. Caitlin Clark's signature shoe is reportedly scheduled for reveal during a Super Bowl commercial. Consider that. The Super Bowl. This is more than marketing. It is a statement. A massive financial bet showing absolute confidence in Clark and in the WNBA itself. Such a move would not happen if there were doubts about the league's future. Nike is betting big and expects the league to provide the platform. Their leverage even stretches to Team USA. If national team leadership were to exclude Clark from the Olympic roster, the rumor suggests Nike would immediately pull support. That possibility highlights Clark's enormous market value and Nike's protective stance. The brand's success is tied to hers, and they will ensure her visibility remains unmatched. This reality pressures every organization from the WNBA to USA Basketball to keep Clark front and center. Compare this situation to the newer unrivaled league. While some players claim they could compete year-round outside the WNBA, viewership data tells another story. Many unrivaled games struggle to reach even 1,000 viewers, proving how essential the WNBA platform truly is. That gap shows why the WNBA remains irreplaceable for exposure, earnings, and competition. Even with page backers involved, Unrivaled still faces audience challenges. While her presence helps temporarily, the overall difficulty gaining traction reinforces the WNBA's unique position. Elite talent still needs the right stage. Players recognize the WNBA offers unmatched visibility, sponsorship potential, and professional growth. This makes large-scale player departures unlikely and strengthens the case for league continuity. The comparison reinforces the WNBA's unmatched value. This is bigger than basketball. It is a global cultural brand with history, intensity, and reach no rival can match. Everyone involved understands this truth. The WNBA stands at the peak of women's professional basketball, and its survival is essential to the entire ecosystem. The stakes are simply too high for failure. Excitement for the upcoming season is already soaring, driven by expected star returns. The assumption is Clark will be healthy, page backers will come back stronger, and A'ja Wilson will maintain dominance. Players like Aaliyah Boston are expected to elevate their game, becoming quicker, stronger, and more explosive. This depth of talent ensures a must-watch season, making a shutdown almost unimaginable. Momentum continues to build, and the players are prepared to deliver. Angel Reese's recent performance only adds fuel. After early struggles, she delivered a remarkable stretch mid-season, averaging roughly 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists across a 10-game span as Chicago finished evenly. That run revealed enormous untapped potential. With stronger support around her, Ree is positioned for a breakout leap. Her growth adds another compelling storyline. Clark and Ree are not just speaking casually. They are executing a vital public relations strategy. Their confident references to future seasons are designed to calm fans and investors alike. Panic helps no one. By projecting certainty, they stabilize perception and allow negotiations to move forward without fear. Their messaging is intentional and powerful. Consider the legacy at risk for those involved in CBA talks. No leader wants to be remembered for overseeing the collapse of the sport that built their career. That reality motivates compromise, not conflict. While the strike vote exists as leverage, no player truly wants to cancel a season. Protecting and growing the game matters more than short-term pressure. Their confidence also speaks directly to investors and media partners. The league is growing with record interest and visibility. Disruption would threaten that progress. Their assurances maintain confidence and signal stability, which is critical for future deals and expansion. The WNBA's future depends on projecting steady growth. Ultimately, the public comments from the league's biggest stars combined with financial realities reveal a quiet understanding. Despite hard negotiations, no major party can afford failure. Players, the PA, the league, and sponsors like Nike all have too much at stake. The WNBA is too valuable, too influential, and too talented to stall. Momentum cannot be reversed. The stage is set for a historic era. With stars openly affirming the future and powerful partners investing heavily, the league is positioned for massive growth. The CBA talks are simply a step toward long-term strength. This is not just about avoiding a strike. It is about building a stronger, fairer, and more visible league ready to captivate the world. When Caitlin Clark speaks, the league listens. When she and Angel Ree confidently discuss future seasons, it is not hope. It is a declaration. The WNBA is not just returning in 2026. It is entering its most dominant, financially successful, and culturally powerful era yet. Negotiations matter, but the commitment of the players who drive the league is absolute. The WNBA is here to stay stronger, louder, and more impactful than ever. The future of women's basketball is